Hey gorgeous soul, I'm Zoe and welcome to the Oasis State podcast, a space where we decode life's mysteries and embrace the what the fuck moments that make it magical. Let this podcast be your trusted companion on your wild journey of transformation, healing and soul expansion. Together, we'll dive deep, celebrate our technicolor existence and turn life's chaos into pure magic. Boy, oh boy, I have had an absolute morning. I've just had one of those mornings where there's just been so many roadblocks and so many components of my morning that felt like out of my control. And boy, oh boy, did it take me back to those seasons I've just navigated over the last few years of being in the unknown and navigating change. And it's just prompted me to jump on here today and record a podcast episode like a love letter, actually, in the form of a podcast for anyone navigating the unknown, anyone that's navigating major changes in their lives or a season of life where they feel like, they can't control the elements. And it's, I think this morning was just such a strong reminder in everything that comes up when you're in that experience. But thankfully, because I have navigated that over the last few years, I could use the tools and the wisdom and the awareness, the self-love, the ability to regulate everything that I've learned in the last few years. I was able to apply that to the absolute fuckery that was my morning. And it's just such a beautiful experience. I couldn't be more grateful for the change and the chaos that I've navigated, because it's very much the experience of what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. And I don't want to be dramatic. Don't worry. If you're in the unknown right now or you're looking for answers, navigating change, it will not kill you. It is just that, I suppose that saying is a bit dramatic. And that season of your life feels fucking dramatic. It's intense. But it's just so beautiful for myself now, personally being in such a beautiful season of peace and clarity, that I can bring everything that I've gained from that season of the unknown with me now. And it is genuinely shaping the incredible person that I am. And I suppose that's one of the first points I want to make about navigating the unknown is we often will gaslight ourselves or judge and shame ourselves for navigating those seasons of life. And whether you have initiated these changes, so left a job that you don't like, or left a relationship, or decided to have a career change, or you might have been unexpected change that has thrust you into the unknown. So that could be navigating grief, ending the relationship yourself, or moving out of someone else ending the relationship. You know what I mean? Like those unexpected triggers that cause disturbances in our lives that move us into the unknown. Like I said, whether it's expected or unexpected, we tend to hold a lot of shame when we're going through that season. And I just want, part of my love letter is just here to remind you that if you're in this season where you feel like you can't control the elements, you can't control your inner state of being or outer state of being, that's completely fine. That's the point of the entire journey. And these seasons of the unknown is to get to know yourself through a process of trust and surrender. I think when life is quite predictable and, we know we're going home to this house and we're dating this person and this is the amount of money that's going to show up on my bank account every week from the job, etc. We live in this space of predictability and we're very much in our masculine energy. Whereas when we're moving into a season of the unknown, it completely requires us to surrender, to trust, to come into a space of receivership and come into a space of gratitude, because we don't know what's up or down at the moment. So it really invites you to come back to finding gratitude and acceptance for the smallest things that you might have taken for granted when you were in more of a predictable season of your life. So all of these things that I just explained are feminine energy-based practices. And that's exactly the training field. Like the unknown is the exact training field for you to get so hone in these skills, especially as women. A lot of women will, without realizing it, will relate to having feminine energy as their dominant energy. However, due to society and conditioning and hustle culture, and there's so many layers, a lot of us women will be stuck in an unhealthy masculine energy. And the idea between masculine and feminine energy is to balance them, but most of the time, they're like, in a lot of cases when we need to like take that action or make that decision, there will be like, there is always a beautiful dance and a balance, but there will be an energy that we relate to as our dominant one. And in most cases, females or people that identify as females, you don't need to have a womb, will really relate to that feminine energy. So there is nothing wrong with you navigating this season of the unknown. It is, as I said, a training ground for you to get really, really familiar with your feminine energy. And like I said, that's through a practice of trust and surrender, letting go, gratitude, receivership, and all of these, what are they called? Like characteristics or behaviors, viewpoints, all lead you, as you get more and more familiar with them, which is a very uncomfortable process, by the way. Oh my God, I looked down, I was recording, it was 555. So I always I love number synchronicities, but when people sort of will do that on like a social media video or something, I just roll my eyes a little bit, but then it just happened to me and I did it. So me judging them has just been a self-judgment practice, but that was so cute just then because that was my natural response to seeing 555, which means change. Yay. I think that was like a beautiful confirmation that if you're listening to this episode, it is exactly what you need right now, and just sit back and receive, baby. So what a beautiful segue back into the episode. Sorry about that little tangent, but feminine energy is about receiving. So you just need to sit here and receive this download and this love letter to you, someone that is navigating the unknown, and just receive the information, and it will just soothe any anxiety that you have in your body. It will soften those, repetitive ruminating thoughts, because why is that happening to you? Why are you feeling dysregulated in your body? And why are you overthinking like there's no tomorrow? Because you are in the unknown. So your mind is like a computer, and a computer is designed to be programmed and find patterns and find sequences. So understandably, when you're in your life and it's just very much in a lane of predictability, like you said, I go and do this 9 to 5, I'm dating this person, these are my friends, this is where I'm traveling. We don't, our brain can jump into the driver's seat and we can predict things, and it can predict things. And the mind's job when it comes to predictability is trying to keep you safe. Whereas when you move into a season of the unknown and navigating change and, chaos, basically, your mind can no longer predict those patterns. And once you have that awareness of what your mind is trying to do, I know that it will help you loosen the grip on trying to make sense of what's happening right now, because the whole point of the unknown is to be in the unknown, to not know what's going on. And I know that's so hard to surrender to, a little feminine energy thing there, but the tighter you try and hold on, the longer it's going to take you to navigate this unknown. It's inviting you to let go. So, of course, so now we understand why our mind is going and going and going. Our mind, ruminating, trying to find the safety, is sending signals to our body that it is not safe. I'm in the unknown. I cannot predict this pattern, so I'm going to assume that I am not safe. So your body, the mind-body connection, through the mind-body connection, your body will go into a dysregulated state because it is constantly looking for a threat. But the thing is, the threat isn't there, guys. It's just the unknown, and it is just asking you to soften into feminine energy practices rather than relying on this autopilot masculine. And there's nothing wrong with the masculine energy, but in my experience, navigating the unknown, once I was able to really get familiar with that feminine energy and all of those practices that I've just mentioned, I was able to recalibrate with that feminine energy, and now a healthier expression of masculine energy can come through for me. So, for example, an unhealthy expression of masculine energy would be taking a lot of action. So the masculine energy is very much about logic, action, sureness, protection, reliability, integrity, all of those things. But when we're out of balance and out of touch with our feminine energy, we will be in an unhealthy expression of that masculine. So rather than, you'll be taking a lot of actions, but none of them are actually going to be of any value, because you're not letting that feminine essence and energy come through to influence the masculine action. So now I've went through this big season of the unknown, and I've dropped out. I've walked out the other side now, and I can feel this recalibration of the masculine energy into a healthier expression. So instead of taking a lot of very stressed out, uninspired action, I have a beautiful relationship with my feminine energy. So the action that I'm taking is aligned, because the action is influenced by my feminine channel of surrender and trust and alignment and receivership. And what do those things do? They open your channel and help you trust your intuition. So any action that I take now that I've recalibrated my masculine and feminine energy through the process of the navigating the unknown is now so much more effective, because it's this beautiful dance and balance of trusting, surrendering, getting into a space of receivership with my feminine energy, and then letting that feminine energy influence the masculine energy to take aligned action. And the aligned action is also always from a place of integrity. So healthy masculine is integrity and consistency, but it's through my unique expression of what my integrity is and what my, consistency is. And I also have complete clarity on my ability to trust that masculine and feminine, because through the process of being in the unknown, you are invited to get to know yourself. So now I can express my masculine energy with greater integrity, because I use the season of the unknown to actually get to know myself. So now I'm completely aware of what my expression of integrity is, which is different to other people's expression of integrity. So coming into the unknown is also an invitation to get to know yourself, because how are you meant to create a life that you love and feels in alignment if you have no idea who you are or what you love or what feels like is in alignment, So just another reminder for you navigating the unknown. This is not a punishment. You're not doing anything wrong. You are being invited. You are being invited to surrender and get to know yourself. You're being invited to be comfortable with not knowing what's going on right now. And when you actually get the chance to let go, that's when the inspiration starts coming through. And I think we get misled, like, the clarity is going to be, a 50-step plan and this huge epiphany. And I suppose the huge epiphanies can happen, but in my experience and a lot of other people's experience, when you're so deep in the unknown and it feels very clouded and you don't know what's up or down, it's very disorientating, this is that time to slow down and create this silence and stillness within yourself to listen to your soul's calling, to listen to your heart's whisper and take that action. Absorb that advice or take that action. It might just be in some clarity, some mental, emotional, spiritual clarity, or it might come through as an action. And it may not be logical either. It may seem completely illogical, but you need to trust that nudge. And like I said, you do that through creating stillness and silence within yourself, even though it feels like being in the unknown is an invitation to do everything but that. You're just going to tire yourself out by not slowing down and sitting, finding that calm eye in the storm that is the disturbance of your life right now. Like you said, it's not predictable. Your life is feeling like it's been disturbed, but it has been disturbed so that you can find that quiet inner oasis state within the crazy storm that's going on around you. And I'm going to record another podcast episode on the connection of the mind and the body with this whole, the unknown, because I really want to do that justice. So I've explained to some degree why it feels disorientating. Your mind is all over the shop and it's sending messages to your body that it is not safe. But I'm really here to press that point that there is nothing wrong with you if you are navigating a season of unknown. There is nothing wrong with you if you are navigating some periods of change, whether you initiated the change or it was unexpected. It is an invitation. It is an encouraging sign that you are being invited to evolve as who you are. You are being invited to get to know yourself and evolve. And like I said, once you get to that place of, well, your authenticity journey is a lifelong thing. But once you get to that place of really, truly trusting your authenticity and being really in alignment, like I said, with your integrity and consistency, like my expression and level of consistency is different to other people. But if you're living a predictable life that's been served to you on a platter and you've never actually really thought about whether it aligns with you or not, you're not going to be in touch with your level of consistency and your level of integrity and what your expression of freedom and authenticity is. So that's why you're in the storm, is to get this clarity. And then, like I said, once you've got that clarity and you come out the other side, and I affectionately call this season of life that I'm in now the season of peace, you have so much more clarity on, like I said, what your expression of consistency is, what your expression of freedom is. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't have so much clarity around all of that if I hadn't have navigated the unknown, which I know might sound really counterintuitive because the whole point of the unknown is literally in the label of it. You don't know. You don't know shit about fuck, you know? But I promise you that the clarity comes, but it doesn't come through the avenues that you are used to when you're living a life that's out of alignment or predictable for you. So yeah, does that make sense? So really bringing home that point of there is nothing wrong with you. Also, you might feel like everyone else around you has their life together, but you don't. Everyone around you knows what's going on, but you don't. This is that reminder to soften and not get caught up in this unhealthy, ego-based comparison and competition. There's nothing wrong with that person that you're comparing yourself to. If they're living their life and their lane, that's perfect divine timing. That's exactly how their life is meant to be expressed right now. But if you're in a different season, that's completely fine too. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. I'm really drilling home this point. But I noticed in my journey of navigating the unknown that there was just so much pointless judgment and unnecessary shame and comparison. And you get thrust into the unknown to detach from all of that and to realize I am my own person. I'm a unique human being, and I've been given this disturbance in my life, whether unexpected or expected. I've been given this disturbance in my life and in my usual programming to navigate all of this. And when you start following those little illogical nudges, like they might sound logical, but other times it might just be like, go to that gym class, and you'll be like, but like I've got to earn money and figure out what's going on. And you might have a million logical reasons why you don't take that advice. But that little intuitive nudge telling you to go to the gym is leading you, say, potentially to a conversation with the gym instructor who gives you an idea that you go home and journal about and you create a whole business out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I mean by if you're given an illogical nudge to do something, it might be rest. It might be put down the tools and go and play for a little bit. There is a reason you're being pulled in that direction with that nudge and that desire, even though it might not be logical. So you might be like, I've just left my job, I need to make money. But you're not going to have any inspired action filter through to you when you are trying to solve a problem from the same place that it was created. So you're ruminating in your thoughts and you're dysregulated in your nervous system and you're trying to solve that problem from that level. Listen to that nudge. If it is telling you to put down the tools and go to the gym class or go and lay in the sun or walk left on the path instead of right, follow that nudge because it is trying to give you the breadcrumbs to help you get out of the unknown. So I suppose that's another point that I want to make is that when we are navigating the unknown, we can have this illusion that we're incredibly unsupported. And I'm here to remind you that that could not be further from the truth. You are so divinely guided at all times. And I know it might seem triggering because you might feel like you're making all of these changes around you and you're evolving as a person, and everyone around you just seems to have the veil lifted over their eyes and doesn't understand what you're doing, and potentially might be impressing some fear-based opinions on you. And that can feel so isolating. And my heart goes out to you, because the experience is isolating. It needs to be isolating for a reason. But I'm here to remind you that at no point in this journey, when you feel lost and confused and you don't know what's up and down, there is no point where you are not completely supported. It is just a level and a bit like an access to support that you might not be familiar with. Your higher self and your soul and your heart and your intuition is always there trying to guide you. And that's that point I'm trying to make of, you need to slow down and find that stillness, because when you're feeling unsupported, it's only an illusion. It's an illusion that you're not supported. You need to step in, you need to reconnect with those parts of yourself and step into your power and learn to support yourself. And you're also so divinely supported by the universe, by your guides, by Mother Nature. But if you're ruminating in your head and have a dysregulated nervous system, you're not picking up the messages. You're not connecting with the level of support. And especially if you're like trying to like hold yourself back and stay in that frequency of that old life where there might be relationships that aren't in alignment with you, or conversations that might not be in alignment with you, that is just going to reinforce that feeling of isolation. So that's another point that I'm making in this beautiful love letter, is that it's time to release the attachment to your levels and access to support that might have supported you in the past, or past versions of yourself. And it's not to say those people aren't going to come with you, but they're not the support that you need right now. Especially if they're not making changes and leaping into the unknown like yourself. They can't understand what you're going through, because they're at a different viewpoint. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with them. I'm just inviting you to zoom out and be open to deeper, more divine levels of support. It's not a one or the other, but if you're not feeling supported by your environment, your conversations, your relationships, your job, all of that, it's because those things are supporting a past version of yourself. And it's not about putting those down and picking something else up. It's about zooming out and being like, where else can I find support right now? And the support that you are trying to call in can only be reflected by the level of support that you give yourself. So that's another advantage of the unknown, is that you have no choice but to get the fuck out of your own way and show up for yourself. No one is coming to save you in this journey. No one is coming to save you but yourself. And it's a shift in perspective with that statement. So you might be sitting here in the unknown, very identified with a victimhood mentality right now. So your victimhood mentality with that statement would be, no one's coming to save me. Like, fuck, no one is coming to save me. But when you can get your finger out of your ass, when you can just look yourself in the eye and be like, there's no going back, this is happening for a reason, there is nothing wrong with me, you will shift your perception and your energy and relationship with that statement to, no one is coming to save me. No one is coming to save me. And you will step into the driver's seat. You will shift out of victimhood mentality into being a conscious creator of your life, feeling empowered. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, because this is another part of the journey in the unknown. It's one, about getting to know yourself through authenticity, but two, it's about showing up for yourself and backing yourself. And that's why I keep sending that message that there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to shift your perception of no one's coming to save me. And my friend always gives this analogy that the reason we love, hero movies, and I'm going to use the example of Harry Potter. He has mentors, he has support. He's got Dumbledore who mentors him, and Snape in the background who mentors him. He's got Ron and Hermione that he's friends, but no one else but him is out there fighting Voldemort. He is the hero of his journey, and that's why we relate to it so much, because we all see a version of ourselves in Harry, and we have admiration and we have respect and we have like nerves about it. But that's the energy you need to step into when you're in the unknown. And the sooner you can do that, the sooner the unknown, the veil will be lifted, and you will start getting the breadcrumbs to get the fuck out of your way and get out of the unknown and out of the season of chaos into the season of peace. So if Harry Potter doesn't land for you, find another hero. But if you think about it, say Superman, he's got Lois Lane and he's got oh no, that's Batman. I was like, you've got the Butler. You know what I mean? Like, you can go and watch any hero movie now and you will realize that they have mentors and support and, you know, all of that. But at the end of the day, Batman's the one that's killing the bad guy. Superman's the one saving the planet. Harry Potter's the one saving Voldemort and saving Hogwarts and the whole world. So being in the unknown is an invitation to become the main actor of your hero's journey and realize that no one's coming to save you. And how exciting is that? That's the coolest thing ever, you know? So this is all about, again, circling back to the feminine energy, is just coming back to that trust and surrender and just knowing that you've got yourself and shifting that relationship with the discomfort. Like, nature is always reflecting to us seasons of disturbance. Yet when they happen in our lives, we just freeze. We go into this fawn response and feel really bad about ourselves and don't realize it's the invitation to evolve. So for example, here in Australia, we have bushfires, which yes, are very destructive and there are huge disturbances, but they're also a natural way that those environments like bush and rainforest and everything, it's how they regenerate. It's like there's specific plant species out there that will not germinate their seeds unless there is fire. Like, there's particular things that need to go through, there's particular species and parts of nature that literally play out for us this phoenix-like death and rebirth energy that comes from disturbances. So obviously, like I said, fire can be quite destructive, but it also brings life. Like, I love seeing those images of when you you'll see right after a fire and everything's burnt to the ground, there's ash everywhere and charcoal. And then someone will go back and take a photo of that same pocket of land like 3 months later. And there's all these insanely vibrant, gorgeous, really green, like shoots and seedlings coming out of that same place that just look like so much destruction. So wherever you are in your change journey, you might not even have taken the change yet, but you're listening to this podcast to hopefully get inspired. Not hopefully, I know this will inspire you. You might be at the start of your unknown journey. You might feel like you've been in it for 75 years. But I promise you, if you just accept that the disturbance is an invitation to evolve rather than an indication that you've done something wrong, you will realize it has beautiful regenerative properties, because nature is always reflecting that back to us. And that comes back to that conversation of start looking around at the messages that life, the universe, nature are giving you. But when you're stuck in this like victimhood mentality and feeling bad about yourself and feeling confused, like I said, you're not going to get those intuitive hits or those messages from nature. Whereas when you can sit there and realize, oh, I am a part of nature. I am consciousness as well. Nature is consciousness. I'm a conscious being. I need these seasons of disturbances and periods of time where I can't understand things and it just feels destructive. But now I understand in the long run that that's actually inviting me to evolve. And, oh, sorry if that can't, hold on. I'm just going to put my phone on do not disturb, but I think I might wrap up in a sec anyway. Sorry, that came through my laptop. But yes, and I've lost my train of thought, so maybe that's a time to stop. But oh, guys, I just wanted to come on here and riff a little bit. And basically, like I said, it's a bit of a love letter to a past version of Zoz that just was so scared to navigate the unknown, but I knew there was no going back as well. I literally have painted, I love painting and being creative, and I painted a painting and I've written on it, there's no going back. So anytime the unknown feels so chaotic and confusing, I just remind myself, I don't want that old life anyway. I don't want to be that old version of myself, because every day I'm getting to learn and love and grow to love myself more, So anyway, I've lost the flow, but that's okay. We can keep these episodes short. But I just want to announce a very exciting thing under the umbrella of this topic, is that I will soon be launching a course that will guide and support and inspire you on your journey of navigating the unknown. If you're in a season of chaos, if you're in a season of change and just feel like you don't know what's up or down, I've got you, babe. I'm currently in the process of creating this course and it will launch very soon. And it's just going to be your safe haven and your library of tools, and there's going to be a community so people that are navigating the unknown together, we can just sort of, see each other and support each other. The community will have access to me as well, someone that has just lived and breathed this journey many times in my life, but most dramatically over the last few years. And I can go into the other seasons as well, the other like sort of cycles of this like death and rebirth energy that just seems to flow in my life. But as someone that's very committed to my evolution, I value those seasons so much now. And I'm in a really beautiful season of peace and clarity now. And it's a time for me to action everything that I've learned, hence this course. But seasons are temporary. So, I will welcome the next season of the unknown when the time comes. But I'm so in service now and in this deep connection with the fact that I need to turn around and help other people through this journey, because I just know that I didn't go through it as many times as I have and have gained all the knowledge and understandings and actions and rituals and everything that I have to navigate this, to not share it. So that's really exciting. The course will come out soon. And I will have, if you're interested in keeping up to date with with the course and the progression of it and the launch dates and everything, I have a wait list. It'll be, there's a link in the show notes for this episode. Sign up to the wait list. It'll also give you access to early bird specials and discounts for the course and extra webinars and resources. So if this episode resonated with you and you think that the course will be something that will help you, it'll basically be like, a course that'll just be in your pocket for your whole life. Because like I said, these seasons come and go. We have seasons of chaos, seasons of peace, seasons of chaos, seasons of peace. So it'll help you navigate what you're going through now. And then in the months and years and weeks and whatever to come, you can pick this course back up again when you need to inevitably navigate the unknown again. Because we're here to evolve, baby. So, we need these disturbances to come through and shed away anything that doesn't serve us and help us find that true north again and work our way out of the unknown back into clarity and empowerment, etc. So this course, having it in your hot little hand, will help you again and again and again throughout your life. So it is going to be very impactful and I'm very excited. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sign up to the wait list and I'll see you on the next episode. I love you so much. Hey, beautiful soul. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Oasis State podcast. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend. It means the world to me knowing that everyone who needs this medicine and magic can lovingly receive it. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out via social media, my website, or email. Can't wait to connect, and until then, sending you heaps of love.